Guys, if you have exciting grappling the way Daniel Tay does, it can often be difficult to analyze your own scrambles, especially in competition. So in this video, I'm going to break down how I approach match analysis and hopefully give you the tools so you can start analyzing your own matches as well. And I'll do this while I allow a supercut version of the best action of both sides of Danny's first match at ADCC Kuwait to play, edited by yours truly. The first pointer is look for opening engagements. Look at what grips people are trying to initially get and look at what they're trying to do with that grip once they get them. It's often difficult to break down big movements, but if you just focus on what initial grips people are fighting for, it's going to allow you to pick up on patterns that are going to give you greater insight towards what a person's game plan is going into a match. The second super important pointer, which may seem self evident but isn't, is there's a big difference between right and left. Most people have a preference for one side over the other, and their setups will reflect this. So make sure you make a note of what side your opponent is favoring, and more importantly, make a note of what side you are favoring and be honest with yourself of what moves you're actually able to pull off on both sides and which moves you're only able to pull off on one. Also look for initiations or instances where the match goes from being completely static to very dynamic. I often rewind the tape 5 seconds once I see a very dynamic movement, and I just simply sit down and try and figure out what wedge was broken that allowed for that movement to start. The final tip is look for patterns. If you keep finding yourself repeating the same sequence in a match over and over again, then that means you're missing something that would allow you to break out of that sequence, either defensively or offensively. Defensively, you're missing something that would allow you to get out, and offensively, you're missing something that would allow you to progress. Figure out what that is, and you're gonna be gold. So that's it. I'm gonna use these tips to break down Danny's entire run at ADCC Kuwait sometime later this week, so stay tuned for that. So subscribe to my YouTube so you don't miss that, and I believe Danny is also gonna write a Substack article about that, so stay tuned for that as well. Finally, shout out Danny's opponent, Islam. I actually met this dude in Philly once at a competition, and I know he trains with Bodega, so I was pleasantly surprised to see him at ADCC Kuwait competing against one of my best friends. But yeah, small world. Okay, goodbye.